Have you ever heard the story of the Tower of Babel? It's a tale as old as time found in the book of Genesis, about a united humanity speaking a single language who decided to build a tower so tall it would reach the heavens. Their goal? To make a name for themselves and avoid being scattered across the world. But this ambition wasn't celebrated. Instead, their language was confused, and they were scattered across the earth, unable to understand one another. This ancient story has fascinated historians, linguists, and archaeologists for centuries. Is it just a powerful metaphor, a cautionary tale about human hubris? Or could there be a kernel of historical truth hidden within its verses? Today we're going on a journey to explore the enduring mystery of the Tower of Babel. Let's dig in. To understand the story, we have to go back to ancient Mesopotamia, often called the cradle of civilization. This region, located in modern-day Iraq, was home to some of the world's earliest cities and empires, like the Sumerians, Akkadians, and Babylonians. It was a land of incredible innovation. They invented writing, the wheel, and monumental architecture. The most iconic structures of Mesopotamia were the ziggurats. These were massive, stepped pyramids, not with smooth sides like those in Egypt, but with layers like a giant wedding cake. They weren't tombs, they were temples built to bridge the gap between the heavens and the earth. At the very top of each ziggurat was a shrine dedicated to a patron god. The people believed these structures were stairways for the gods to descend to earth. So, when we read about a tower with its top in the heavens, the image of a ziggurat immediately comes to mind. Many scholars believe the story of Babel was directly inspired by these incredible Mesopotamian structures. The most famous of these was a ziggurat in the city of Babylon itself. Its name, Etemenanke. Etemenanke translates to the foundation of heaven and earth. This wasn't just any ziggurat, it was the ziggurat dedicated to Marduk, the chief god of Babylon. Ancient texts describe it as a colossal structure, possibly reaching up to 300 feet high, with 7 tiers, each painted a different color. Imagine seeing that shimmering on the horizon under the Mesopotamian sun. It would have been a breathtaking symbol of human power and devotion. The city of Babylon was a true melting pot of the ancient world. As the capital of a vast empire, it was filled with people from conquered lands, speaking a multitude of languages. Traders, soldiers, artisans, and captives from all corners of the known world walked its streets. An ancient visitor arriving in Babylon would have been surrounded by a dizzying array of unfamiliar tongues. It's easy to see how this reality could have inspired the wild confusion of tongues, part of the Babel story. For the ancient Israelites, who spent time in Babylonian exile, witnessing this massive multicultural city with its towering ziggurat could have been overwhelming. The story might have been their way of making sense of this linguistic diversity and the immense, seemingly arrogant power of the Babylonian Empire. But what happened to Etemenanke, the potential real-life Tower of Babel? Like many great monuments of the ancient world, it fell victim to time and conquest. The Persian king Xerxes is said to have damaged it in the 5th century BC. Later, when Alexander the Great conquered Babylon, he found the ziggurat in ruins. He planned to rebuild it to its former glory, but his untimely death put an end to those plans. Over the centuries, its bricks were repurposed for other buildings, and the great tower slowly melted back into the earth. Archaeologists in the early 20th century finally rediscovered its foundations. While nothing of its great height remains, the footprint they uncovered was immense, confirming the grand scale described in ancient texts. Standing at the site today, you can feel the echoes of history, imagining the ambition and effort that went into building such a structure. So where does that leave us? Was the Tower of Babel a real place? It's unlikely there was a single specific event where all of humanity's languages were suddenly created. The development of language is a slow, gradual process that linguists trace back tens of thousands of years. Human populations migrated and separated, and over millennia their languages naturally evolved and diverged, creating the rich tapestry of tongues we have today. The story of Babel isn't a scientific explanation for linguistic diversity. Instead, it's a powerful narrative that explores timeless human themes. It's a story about ambition and its limits, about the relationship between humanity and the divine, and about the origins of human division. It reflects a deep-seated human desire to understand why we are different, why we struggle to communicate, and why we are scattered across the globe. Think about it. The idea of a single, universal human language is a recurring dream. From constructed languages like Esperanto to the modern dominance of English in global business and the internet, we are constantly striving to overcome the barriers that the Babel story describes. We build our own modern towers, not of brick and mortar but of technology and communication networks, in an effort to reconnect our scattered world. The mystery of the Tower of Babel, therefore, isn't really about finding a specific pile of rubble in the desert. The real power of the story lies in what it tells us about ourselves. It's a myth that has shaped our understanding of culture, language, and civilization for thousands of years. It reminds us that while our ambition can lead us to achieve incredible things, it's our ability to communicate, to understand, and to connect with one another that truly defines our humanity. The echoes of Babel are all around us in every foreign phrase we learn, every translation app we use, and every effort we make to bridge cultural divides. The tower may have fallen, but the questions it raises are as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago. Picture this. A future, technologically advanced Iraq announces a project of unprecedented scale, the construction of a new Tower of Babel. What would that even look like, and why would they do it? Let's explore. First, let's rewind to the original story. The Tower of Babel from the Book of Genesis was humanity's first mega-project. United by a single language, the people of ancient Mesopotamia decided to build a tower so high it would reach unto heaven. The goal? To make a name for themselves and prevent being scattered across the world. According to the story, this ambition was seen as an act of hubris. God intervened, confusing their languages, which led to the project's failure and the scattering of humanity. For millennia, this story has been a powerful metaphor for the perils of unchecked ambition and the origins of cultural diversity. The tower itself is often associated with the ziggurats of ancient Babylon, massive terraced structures that were central to their cities. Now fast forward to the future. Imagine an Iraq that has risen from its complex past to become a global leader in technology, culture, and science. Fueled by a new era of prosperity and a desire to reclaim its historical legacy as a cradle of civilization, the nation announces the Babylon Ascension Project. This wouldn't be a simple tower of brick and mortar. This would be the ultimate arcology, a self-contained vertical city housing millions. Think of a structure piercing the clouds, maybe even scratching the edge of space. We're talking about materials we can only dream of today. Carbon nanostructures, diamond weave composites, and self-repairing bioconcrete. Its energy would be 100% renewable, powered by a vast skin of solar arrays and geothermal vents, tapping into the Earth's core. But why build it? The official reasons would be inspiring. It would be a solution to overpopulation and climate change, a vertical paradise with internal ecosystems, advanced agriculture, and zero carbon footprint. It would be a symbol of human unity, a place where scientists, artists, and thinkers from every corner of the globe could gather to solve humanity's greatest challenges. They'd frame it not as an act of defiance against the heavens, but as a monument to collective human potential. Imagine the global reaction. It would be a mix of awe and deep-seated anxiety. Engineers and architects would be thrilled by the sheer scale of the challenge. Economists would debate its feasibility, while other nations might see it as a power play, a declaration of technological supremacy. The project would become the single biggest news story on the planet, dominating every feed and conversation. Then, there are the philosophical and religious debates. Religious leaders worldwide would likely voice concern, drawing direct parallels to the ancient story. They would warn that this is history repeating itself, another grand gesture of human pride destined for failure. Is humanity once again trying to play God? The name Babel itself would be incredibly controversial, a deliberate choice to confront the old myth head-on. Is it a reclamation of a name or a deliberate provocation? Let's get into the construction. This would be a project spanning generations. Armies of autonomous drones and advanced AI-driven machinery would do the heavy lifting, assembling prefabricated modules with millimeter precision. The tower would grow day by day, a new wonder of the world taking shape before our very eyes. It would be a global effort requiring the best minds and resources from dozens of countries, all coordinated from a central hub in future Baghdad. Inside this vertical city, life would be unlike anything we know. There would be no cars, only a silent, hyper-efficient transport system zipping through the tower's core. Entire floors would be dedicated to lush parks, forests and waterfalls, mimicking natural environments. Residential levels would offer breathtaking views, with smart homes adapting to every resident's needs. This wouldn't just be a building, it would be a living, breathing ecosystem. So would this new tower suffer the same fate as the original? Maybe the curse wouldn't be a divine intervention, but something born from our own human nature. The original story was about the confusion of language. In our hyper-connected future, the challenge might be different. Perhaps the confusion would be digital, a sophisticated cyber attack, a virus designed to cripple the tower's central operating system, could bring the entire project to a halt. Imagine the communication networks failing, the life support systems going haywire, the internal transport grinding to a stop. The chaos would be immense. Who would be responsible? A rival nation? A technophobic extremist group? Or maybe an AI that has decided humanity's ambition is a threat? Or maybe the division would be social and ideological. Inside this perfect city, new languages of thought could emerge. Factions could form based on differing views of the project's purpose. Some might see it as the pinnacle of achievement, while others, living within its walls, might start to see it as a gilded cage, a prison of perfect order. Debates over governance, resource allocation, and personal freedom could escalate into open conflict. The tower, intended to unite humanity, could become a pressure cooker for our deepest divisions. But what if it succeeds? What if humanity learns from the past? What if the project's leaders build safeguards against hubris, promoting not a single monolithic culture, but a vibrant tapestry of all human cultures within its walls? The new Tower of Babel wouldn't be about reaching heaven, but about building a better Earth, starting with one magnificent unified city. Its completion would mark a new era for our species. It would be a testament to our ability to overcome ancient fears and divisions, to work together on a scale previously unimaginable. It wouldn't erase our different languages or cultures, it would celebrate them, creating a microcosm of a united world. The tower would become a beacon of hope, a permanent symbol in the sky that says, "Look what we can achieve when we build together, instead of scattering apart." Ultimately, the story of a new Tower of Babel is a powerful reflection of our own choices. It forces us to ask, are we destined to repeat the mistakes of our past, driven by pride and division? Or can we learn, grow, and use our incredible power to build a truly unified and sustainable future? The sky is, quite literally, the limit. What do you all think? Would a new Tower of Babel be a triumph or a tragedy waiting to happen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take on this. Thanks for joining me on this futuristic journey today. If you enjoyed this speculative exploration, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. See you in the next video.